What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Dr. Akash Show. I'm excited to talk about our topic today, which is going to be cognitive enhancement. So I want to talk to you today about the top 5 supplements that I recommend to kind of improve your overall cognition, which is basically a way to help you improve your thinking, your ability to react, your ability to function in daily life. Have you found yourself feeling kind of foggy-headed, foggy thinking, maybe difficult to make decisions? Perhaps you've had a slower reaction time to certain life situations as well. Have you noticed kind of just a generalized decline in your overall ability to function, to think, to make decisions, to kind of navigate your way through your life, which was different than the way it used to be? You may even have noticed things like mild depression or maybe anxiety or just feelings of melancholy, any of these things that maybe get significantly worse or compounded with any sort of life stressor. Listen, here's the deal, guys. We're all going to be faced with life stressors, and how you deal with those life stressors, how resilient you are, determines how robust you become and how you trudge forward and move forward in your life. So today we're going to talk about 5 cognitive boosters that I believe can significantly improve your ability to function through your life. Now, these things alone may be enough for you to really get back to where you need to be, but sometimes these things may be a nice additional supplementation for other kinds of therapies you may be pursuing. So let's get into it. Personally speaking, I stumbled upon the 5 things we're going to talk about because in my experiences, I started to notice myself having kind of foggier thinking. I would forget things that were very, very simple when I would be asked questions either at home or at work that are very, very simple things that I should know pretty much right off the tip of my tongue. And I would take time to actually think about the answer, or I would actually forget what the answer was. I started to notice, okay, this might be something to consider. And that's when I started to do the research myself on certain cognitive agents that may help out. And so I personally have tried all 5 of the things that we're going to discuss today. They've definitely made a significant impact in my life, which is why I want to share that with you now. But before we get into that, guys, this is a brand new show, a brand new podcast. So if you find value in the show, please like and subscribe and share. This will teach the algorithms who to show this to and who to expose this to like-minded people like us. So let's get into it. Number 1, creatine. So creatine supplementation has been used in the bodybuilding and athletic world for a significant number of years. Although we know it has significant physical effects, recent research has also shown and suggested that it may have significant improvement in brain activity as well. So according to a 2022 study completed, creatine has been shown to improve cognitive ability, specifically with traumatic brain injury and concussions. There is also evidence showing that it may help with mild symptoms of depression and anxiety as well. It may even help protect against neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's or dementia. In one study that has been referenced, creatine supplementation has been shown to potentially improve mental cognition and memory in older adults. So what is creatine? Creatine is a naturally occurring amino acid typically found in the muscles and the brain. It's very important for energy production, especially during times of increased metabolic demand and sleep deprivation. According to the International Society of Sports Nutrition, consuming up to 30 grams of creatine at a time daily for 3 to 5 years is considered to be safe. However, that being said, general consensus and the general acceptance of creatine is to consume about 5 to 10 grams a day on a regular daily basis. Be very mindful of your kidney function, however, should you choose to pursue the creatine, because creatine is metabolized through the kidneys. Creatine basically helps create energy. So creatine helps create a molecule called ATP, which not only helps with energy for your muscles, which is why it's used significantly in the workout world, but it also significantly helps with cognition, as we discussed. All right, guys, so the next one on the list is Reservatrol. So Reservatrol is the antioxidant typically found in red wine and grapes specifically. This is a great agent used to improve blood flow, decrease cognitive mental decline in general. Numerous studies really demonstrating this effect as well. So taking Reservatrol can potentially decrease deterioration of the hippocampus. And the hippocampus is a part of our brain which is responsible for memory. So according to the NIH, up to 1,500 milligrams of Reservatrol per day is a safe and appropriate dose. A couple things to keep in mind with Reservatrol: it can cause decrease in blood clotting. So it's a blood thinner, so you need to be careful of this if you're going to undergo surgery, and make sure you talk to your doctor about that. Another thing to keep in mind about Reservatrol, if you take higher doses, up to 3,000 milligrams a day, you may have some upset stomach issues or some GI disturbances. And then finally, magnesium. So magnesium is extremely powerful for many, many different uses, but one of the things we're discovering about magnesium, it has significant benefit with slowing cognitive decline and also decreasing neurodegenerative states. So basically minimizing the chance of your nervous system beginning to decline in activity. There's a study done in 2022 with 2,500 participants demonstrating those who took magnesium versus those who did not scored much, much better on cognitive tests. So another study done demonstrated that lower magnesium intake in middle age demonstrated a relationship to dementia. So what are the ideal levels of magnesium? You want to take about 300 to 400 milligrams a day. So the next cognitive enhancer I would like to discuss is caffeine. We all know what caffeine is. So approximately 100 milligrams of caffeine is found in a typical cup of coffee. Now, research has confirmed what coffee lovers around the world suspect. Coffee improves cognitive performance. A study done in 2016 confirmed that caffeine can improve feelings of alertness, can improve mood, can fight against mild depressive feelings, and can improve concentration and overall feelings of well-being. It is even associated with a decreased risk of Alzheimer's disease and dementia. So in general, think about caffeine as being very neuroprotective. So what does that mean? It basically means caffeine, when taken in moderate doses, can actually help protect degeneration of your nervous system, so minimizing your chance of experiencing any sort of neurodegenerative disease states like Alzheimer's disease or dementia. But don't overdo it. Caffeine, because it is also definitely a stimulant, can cause all sorts of cardiac issues if overdone. You can have heart palpitations leading to significant cardiovascular events. So be very careful with that. The general consensus is to take no more than about 200 milligrams of caffeine in one sitting, and a typical cup of coffee is about 100 milligrams of caffeine. So look out for things like heart palpitation, insomnia, restlessness, irritability. These are all signs that maybe you've ingested too much caffeine. There's another study demonstrating that intake of caffeine shows a 32% decrease in stroke, about a 25% decrease in dementia, and a 27% decrease in post-stroke dementia. The study looked at data from 500,000 participants between 40 and 69 years old, and the research collected information about their coffee and tea drinking habits. The general feeling was the antioxidant benefits of coffee or caffeine in coffee and tea was responsible for the neuroprotective element, because coffee and tea contain elements that improve blood flow, that improve brain function. So how much caffeine should you drink? So the research shows anywhere from 1 to 2 cups of caffeine or coffee a day. 100 to 200 milligrams is kind of ideal. There are some studies showing that consuming about 300 to 400 milligrams or 3 to 4 cups a day might have some added benefit. But listen, we're all very different, so make sure you assess your overall tolerance of caffeine, weigh the risks and side effects versus any potential benefit, and obviously use some common sense. The next cognitive enhancer I want to discuss is called L-theanine. So L-theanine is an amino acid found naturally in mushrooms, as well as some green teas and black teas. It's been shown to improve focus as well as improve cognition. So it's been shown to improve not just focus, but mental performance in numerous studies. So in one study, participants took 100 milligrams of L-theanine before a 2-hour task, and they were compared against a placebo group, a group that basically got just like sugar water or sugar pill, and their results were significantly improved compared to that control group. This is a link. Obviously, we can't say specifically that L-theanine definitely causes this, but there's a clear correlation here, and there's tons and tons of studies on this. So what's a good starting dose? Well, there isn't really an established dose of L-theanine at this time, but daily doses between 100 and 250 milligrams seem to be the sweet spot and very safe with minimal side effects. So just to give you an orientation on that, a cup of green tea can provide anywhere from 8 to 30 milligrams of L-theanine. So by enhancing your cognitive ability and supporting your cognitive function, these are a way where you're basically giving yourself rocket fuel to combat the things we just talked about. This is a fantastic way to stay resilient and to power through when these life stressors begin to show up and you begin to face these things. Now let's talk about staying robust. Being robust means becoming the most powerful, optimized version of yourself. How can you do that? while taking the supplements that we've talked about today with optimal diet, optimal sleep and exercise and nutrition, take that together, measure your progress, measure what you intake every single day, track your macros, track your physical activity. So you can look back at this over time and you can have objective proof that what you're doing is actually working. Look at your laboratory results. Measure this. So again, you have an increased additional objective proof that what you're doing is helping. All right, so let's summarize, guys. What are the top 5 cognitive boosters that you can consider starting right away? Number 1, creatine. Creatine, take about 5 to 10 milligrams a day. Be careful of kidney function. Number 2, caffeine, about 100 to 200 milligrams a day, about 1 to 2 cups of coffee. Be mindful of side effects with caffeine that can include heart palpitations, insomnia, anxiety, irritability, things like that. Number 3, L-theanine, take about 100 to 250 milligrams a day. This is something found in certain mushroom products as well as black and green teas. You can also take it as a supplement. Number 4, Reservatrol, take about 1,500 milligrams a day, typically found in grapes and red wine. And finally, number 5, magnesium, about 300 to 400 milligrams a day. These are all very, very safe levels for these supplements as well. So guys, thanks for listening. Again, if this was valuable for you, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. This is a brand new podcast like we discussed. And remember, the best time to do something was yesterday. The next best time is today. Tomorrow, don't look back with regret wishing you started. Take one small step today to become optimized. I'll see you soon.